If you are a driven, health-conscious female who absolutely loves plant foods, and you want to conceive a child naturally, you want to go through a healthy pregnancy and give birth and have enough milk, in today's video, I'm going to share my vegan pregnancy, birth, and breastfeeding experience. So let's get started. Hey, Julia Tabith here, and apart from eating pineapples and a lot of fruit, together with my husband Paul, we help you create healthy hormones, optimize your weight, gut health, and live a life of your dreams completely naturally. If you are new to our channel, remember to subscribe and hit the bell, hit the likes to stay up to date with our latest videos. So, our precious daughter, Eleni, has turned 8 years old. Time has flown by, and in this video today, I wanted to talk to you about my vegan pregnancy, my vegan birth, and my vegan breastfeeding experience. So for those of you ladies who are looking to go through the same experience, I believe this knowledge is going to be invaluable because it's from someone who's been there and done that first. And second, knowing that you can do it all in plans and go through a successful vegan pregnancy, birth, and breastfeeding experience. So let's dive right into it. I got pregnant in the year of 2013. By then, I was already on a raw vegan diet, so very clean, high fruit, raw vegan diet, lots of fruit, lots of green leafy vegetables for 4 years, about 4 years. And during that time frame, I reversed so many health challenges. Before coming into that lifestyle, I had candida, I had PCOS, I had fertility issues, and the doctor said that I would struggle to conceive, and I had problems with my cycle, and I had Hashimoto's, and I had liver problems, and I had a lot of adrenal fatigue. So that lifestyle helped me reverse all those challenges, rebuild my body, and go from struggling with health challenges to becoming an athlete, running a full marathon, completing a triathlon, and then getting pregnant in that healthy and fit body that I built getting pregnant. And by the way, before we go any further, I want to invite you to a free online masterclass where I will share the 5 steps our clients use to restore their hormonal imbalances, lose 10 to 50 pounds of excess weight naturally, and create the body and life of their dreams. All you need to do is to go to rossomhealthy.com/webinar and grab your spot. Now, my pregnancy didn't confirm for a number of months, so pretty much throughout the whole of my first trimester, I went through it without seen my pregnancy confirmed. I did tests and they all showed negative, and I'm questioning myself what was happening. So during that time frame, I had no morning sickness. Woohoo! I had no morning sickness, and I trained and I performed and I competed. And the only thing that I noticed was that I needed more naps and I needed more sleep. And again, I thought that's okay. Maybe it's because I'm training harder because I didn't have my pregnancy confirmed. So when my pregnancy finally got confirmed, it was the happiest news for myself and my husband. We were just so joyous. We were over the moon. We were looking forward to it. And it was one of the happiest days in my life. And I still remember it. It was in Thailand. So when I got to my second trimester, of course, you start to pick up. And by then I knew I was pregnant, and I knew I was just not a crazy one. And my second trimester was just wonderful. I was gaining healthy amount of weight, never excess weight. So the second trimester was a great time of my pregnancy, and so was the third trimester. I continued training. I did not swell. I had no problems, and I had no problems that a lot of females on regular diets experience. I had no swelling, I had no backaches, I had no gestational diabetes risk because of the healthy diet, that I followed. And by the way, I did have blood sugar imbalances before coming into the new lifestyle, and I stayed on plants, and I ate lots of fruit and lots of green leafy vegetables and lots of veggies, smoothies and juices and so forth, and I just thrived. So it was high carb, more fat, a little bit more fat than usual, but not tons of fat, and a very healthy, clean, plant foods lifestyle that I followed throughout my pregnancy. So by the end of my pregnancy, I felt glowing, my skin glowed, I did not swell, I did not have any issues, I was active, I was swimming, I was exercising, I was walking, pretty much right to the end of my pregnancy, I was doing that. And I just loved moving my body, and the belly was bigger and I needed to eat more plant foods. So I loved it. I loved my pregnancy, and to this day, even talking about it just lights me up. And it's like you go to another planet and you go through a very special experience of carrying that baby in your belly as a health conscious female who's eating plant foods. I think it's just so special. Okay, my vegan pregnancy birth. And in case if you are new to us and you don't know much about us, for the last 12 years, my husband and I have been living an international lifestyle. So we go to warm tropical places. We have a business online, and it allows us to live from any location in the world. And by the way, if you are also a health, wellness, fitness, relationship coach, I coach coaches like you and help them build businesses online. So I'll drop a link to my free masterclass where you can discover how to do that in a successful way. So I'll drop that in the description section. Feel free to watch it if that's relevant to you. So by the time we got to my birth, we lived in Australia for a few months. So by, I think, week 35, we moved to Australia, to Queensland. And what happens in Queensland? Queensland gets really bad cyclones, category 5 cyclones, cyclones that can take your rooftop and flood areas and damage and really devastate areas. So that cyclone came when I was in labor. I was 10 days overdue, which I really don't believe in overdue thing, but it was a bit over. And cyclone came right at that moment, right at the moment of me going into labor. And I wanted to have a home birth. Everything was prepared for us to have a home birth. My husband was looking forward to assisting me. We had a midwife who's going to come and help with that. And everything's changed. My midwife got flooded. We started to get flooded. There was no water, no electricity. It was very cold because the rain was so heavy. All of a sudden we discovered on our land in Australia that we had a river going through it because of the amount of rain. Trees were falling down. And I understood that there is absolutely no way I could give birth in this scenario. I wanted comfort, I wanted support, I wanted to feel relaxed. Our phone was getting low on batteries. We couldn't recharge it if we needed to call someone and ask for something. So we made the decision of going to our local birthing center. So my labor lasted about 16 hours. Yes, it's pretty long, but at the same time, it's pretty normal for when you give birth for the first time. Was it painful? It was very painful. It was so painful. When I was preparing for my labor and my husband and I were watching all these beautiful movies about orgasmic birth, and I just had a different understanding. I thought that, as someone who's super healthy, you earn your access to painless labor, but it was not like that. I had to let go of those concepts. It was painful. It was so painful. It was really painful. And you have to know that. I really think that you have to know that to prepare yourself for it, to know that you need to build yourself up for this experience. You need to build yourself up. You need to build your body. You need to build your muscles. You need to build your mindset. You need to build your emotions. You need to be ready to be in it for the long, for the long run. And it's not like it's just a 2-minute thing. It can last hours and hours. In my case, it was 16 hours, and it was stress that led up to my labor. So what happened about 4 hours before I pushed our beautiful daughter into this world, Eleni, 4 hours before, I felt that I had no strength, I had no energy. I've reached that point where I was just desperate. And different thoughts started coming into my head, and I started questioning myself, can I really do it naturally? Can I really bring a child into this world naturally, considering that I have no energy at all? I have just exhausted. And at that moment, and please write this down. This is going to be so helpful for your vegan birth when you go through your vegan birth experience, or your birth experience, any birth experience, you have to eat. At that moment, I thought, okay, you know what? I can eat fruit. And I asked my husband, I said, please, can you bring me bananas and dates? And he went and he got bananas and dates. And when we arrived to the birthing center, we had our own fruit because we eat a lot of fruit. So we brought up bananas and dates and oranges and stuff with us. So he went and he got it. And I remember, I remember all those bananas around me and all those dates, and I ate them. And right away, I felt power in my body. And right away, I felt strong pushes. And I felt that I was laboring. And it was that part when I needed to push. So I went into myself and I tuned in. And it was so painful. It was just so painful. Eleni came out with a head like this. And it was just so painful doing it. And at that moment, I see myself running my triathlon. And running, when you do triathlon, first you swim, and then you ride a bicycle, and then you run. And every single time you do that, you use different muscle groups. So really you train your whole body. And it's very hard. The running part of it, you're tired. You're tired from swimming, you're tired from running. And by the time I got to the running stage, I remember that I needed to go into just a different space in myself, where I was just focusing. My body was so tired. And I just pushed. And I just tuned into that space where I can do it. And I can do it. And when I was laboring, when I was in such extreme pain from pushing, in my mind, I went there and I see myself running and I see my outfit and I'm there and I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I push and I push and it's painful. It was so painful. It was really painful and I push and I know I need to push and I go through it and I find the inner strength and I tap into that female power and I go into that space and I push because I know I can. Even though my body's tired, even though my mind's tired, I know in that spirit I can go into that space. And that's what sport does to you. This is why when we work with our clients and when we work with people, we, especially if ladies are looking to get pregnant, we encourage them to build themselves. It's a journey. It's a journey. You've got to be ready for it. And she comes out, a beautiful daughter, Eleni, and I start to cry and I start to welcome her into this world. And right away she had her eyes wide open. And she locks her eyes. She looks at me and we lock. We just like look at each other. And she looks at me and looks at me and looks at me. And I welcome her into this world. And she's on my breast. And I'm looking at her. And she's so beautiful. She's so perfect and so real. My milk came straight away. And colostrum to start with. I had no issues at all with breastfeeding. I had tons of milk. Our daughter lived on my breast. We went with attachment parenting, so co-sleeping, and I believe this is the right thing to raise your kids. Co-sleeping, baby carrying, breastfeeding on demand, rain or shine, day or night, every time they wanted. Every time she wanted me, I was there. She never had a bottle. I was there for her, running our business, doing our fitness, maintaining my relationship, breastfeeding our daughter. It was a challenge, but at the same time, breastfeeding was the priority. Nurturing this child was the priority, and I knew by building that healthy body, I could give her that experience. And when you plant foods, you change so many things in your body. You can literally switch off the bad genes. Can you imagine not passing the bad genes onto your kids? This is big. You can rebuild your body, you can rebuild your cells, you can totally change the chemistry of your body. Can you imagine what the quality of your meal is going to be if your nutrition is right? So I had lots of milk. I breastfed our daughter for a long time. She lived on my breast for good 4 or 5 years. And I breastfed her until she weaned herself, until she just forgot about it. Until, after 5, it was occasionally, every few weeks, she would remember and she would come and breastfeed. And I had milk. What's surprising, what's just amazing, is that even though I was feeding every few weeks, so whenever she remembered it, I had plenty of milk. And I still remember when she would go on my breast and I would say, do I have milk? And she would say, do I have a lot of milk? And she would say, yes. And she would always show me that, yes, mommy, lots of milk. And it's just such a special experience. And dear female, if you're considering a vegan pregnancy and a vegan birth, know that you need to do it right. You need to build your body. You need to make sure you're reversing as many health challenges as you can. Approach it from a very conscious perspective. If you're a conscious female, I'm sure you will, but at the same time, it's good to reinforce that message. Yes, so approach it from a very conscious, responsible perspective. Invest in yourself. Invest into what's going to help you build yourself, build your body, build your mindset, prepare yourself for it. Make sure that you don't have deficiencies. B12 is so important during your pregnancy. Monitoring your iron level, and some women will need to supplement with iron. And if you have iron issues, making sure that you're consuming enough omega-3 and you're consuming enough of other nutrients, and it's all balanced and it's working for you and you're able to do it, is so important. And then when your breast milk comes, you need to eat a lot of calories. For the first year, you need to eat close to 1,000 extra calories to be able to keep that breast milk supply. And it's totally possible to do it all. And I did it on a fruit-based lifestyle plan. So it's totally possible to do it, and know that you are the one who can make it happen. So that is my vegan pregnancy, birth and breastfeeding experience. I would love to hear about yours. Let us know in the comment section. And if you are at a stage where you know you need to build your body, you need to prepare yourself, you want to go through a healthy vegan pregnancy, or if you've already given birth, you want to make sure that you have enough nutrients and you're maintaining a healthy lifestyle, a healthy breast milk supply, then join us for my free online masterclass, where I will show you the 5 steps our clients are using to reverse hormonal imbalances, to optimize their weight, and to get their body in an optimum shape and level of health. So the link for that is rossomhealthy.com/webinar. So go to that page, type your name, type your email address, and then you'll be able to watch it and benefit from it. Thank you so much for joining me for this video, and we'll look forward to seeing you in our next video.